Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing makeup on my girl Queen. If you watch this channel, you know Queen. So yeah, she's feeling herself. It was actually her birthday and we're about to do a shoot. So I popped on contact lenses for her. Those contact lenses are from Zikel. If you need a contact lens tutorial, how to put on your contact lenses, I'm going to be linking it up there. Click on it and check it out. So first of all, I'm moisturizing her face using the Fasali Rose Gold Elixir and just, basically moisturizing her face, and I'm spraying her face with a mist just to prep her face. Then I'm going to be priming her face using the Pond's oil control primer. She has oily skin, so I used like a generous amount. Now when you're using Pond's can be extremely drying, so if you're using Pond's, I always advise that you moisturize the face first of all so that it doesn't get too dry or leave a white cast after you use the Pond's. So now I'm going to be doing her brows, and the pencil that I'm using is from Jordana. I really like this pencil because it's light brown and it's not waxy, and it can give you those hair-like strokes. So yeah, I decided to do this first of all to set her brows using some setting powder first of all to mattify the brows before I went on to continue to fill with the pencil. And I didn't really do a lot of filling. I just drew the outline and then I did hair like strokes, as you guys can see. So now for my concealer, I'm using the LA Girl Pro. I think the light shade one is the creamy beige, and the darker shade one that I use for the top of the brows is actually from Beyond Beauty. It's from Beyond Beauty, and it was in the shade Fawn. So now I'm going to be using the Blot Eyebrow Mascara to kind of tint her brows to a lighter shade of brown. I'm using my spoolie to just blend it in. Now I'm priming her eyes using the remnant of the concealer that I used to clean up her eyebrows. So I'm going into a powder palette. This one is from Beyond Beauty, just to set the upper part of her eyes before I begin to go in with my actual eyeshadow. So I'm using something close to her shade. So now I'm going into the Morphe 35B eyeshadow palette and taking that skin tone color but that has a tint of pink on it. Then the next thing I did was to take a yellow shade with my blending brush, then an orange shade. I'm creating a sort of gradient, so the orange goes slightly below where the yellow went. And then next I'm taking this combination of these two shades of pink. One is a darker shade that's almost like a burgundy, and one is a fuchsia pink. So I just used that and I took it like 3/4 way into her eyes, and with my blending brush I blended. Then I'm taking that shade of black just to create more depth. You guys can see that I'm going from one level to the other to create like a gradient from the light color down into the darker color. So now I'm cutting her crease. Like this is a reverse cut crease. Instead of cutting from the inner part of the eye, I'm cutting from the outer part of the eye. So when you're cutting the crease, make sure you use something creamy. I used the medium beige because it's bright, and I was going to place a bright eyeshadow on it. So you guys, I just applied her eyelid color, which is a bright shade like an eggshell color. So I'm going into my favorite, which is the Beyond Beauty gel liner. It is jet black, super creamy, and it doesn't smudge. You guys, this is my holy grail. So I just lined her eyes. Now I'm using some mascara on her eyelid on her eyelashes before I pop on the lashes. And the lashes that I'm using is the 16 eyelashes palette from Missmetics. It's a Nigerian brand. These lashes, I love them. Different variety of styles, and the lashes are almost they're like human hair lashes. They are not synthetic. So I'm using the powder before foundation method on her. I use the setting powder just to set all over her face with my beauty blender, and then I'm taking the Talk London foundation in the shade 160. This is the shade color 160, and I'm just applying this all over her face. Don't forget to blend into the ears, into the jawline. So now I'm going into a lighter shade of foundation that is also from Talk London, but this is the color sorry, this is the color 110. So I'm just using that to highlight under her eyes, her chin, her chin, around the corners of her mouth, her the bridge of her nose, and her forehead, just a little bit on the forehead because she doesn't really have a pronounced forehead. So now to contour, I'm going into the Beyond Beauty foundation in the shade 204 just to contour her face, and you guys can see that this brings like some dimension back to her face, and this makes her face blend a little more with her neck. So sometimes this is what I do if I don't want to apply foundation on the neck, if I don't want to do too much work. I just use the contour to bring back some dimension to the face and blend the face with the neck. So this is what I do sometimes. Don't forget the chin area, because she has a round face, we really needed to sculpt that face. So now I'm contouring her nose as well. So to set her eyes, I went back into my Sacha Buttercup setting powder to just set the highlighted area. So now I'm using the Beyond Beauty powder palette. I'm just brushing off the setting powder and just applying powder over the rest of her face. So you guys, I'm using two different shades of powder. I use a lighter shade for her highlighted areas, and I use a darker shade for the rest of her face. That's what I usually do. So now for my blush, I'm going into the Glitz and Glam blush stroke highlighter palette. I'm just taking that really beautiful shade of pink. You guys, I love blush. Like, I say that all the time. So now I'm taking the highlighter and just putting some glow on the high points of her face. So setting her face using the glow setting spray from Royal Makeup. It's just to remove the powdery look and to just make everything blend nicely. So priming her lips using a lip primer. I'm going to be doing, you guys, I think when I applied this first shade of purple, I didn't really like it. I felt like it was a little bit too much. It's kind of like a metallic purple shade. I've forgotten what brand this is from, but when I applied it, I had to go over it with another lipstick shade. This one is from Classic. This is the shade VVIP. So I just used this over the lips, covering most of the purple that I did initially, but leaving like the midpoints to still have that purple, the middle of her lips to still have that tint of purple, as you guys can see. So now with a really light shade of pink, a pink with a kind of like blue undertone, I just put that in the middle of her lips, and yeah, I was satisfied with this because I felt like it fits the eye look more. So now I'm just cleaning up the lip with some foundation to make sure that her lips are very neat and well sculpted. Going over it with some powder. So guys, the next thing that I did is just to do her bottom of her eyes. Now Queen has an extremely, like, I've never seen anybody that tears up as much as Queen. Nothing goes into her eyes. To even put on the contact lens was a struggle. So I usually don't line her eyes whenever I do her makeup. I just do like I just smoke out under her eyes like I did with that fuchsia pink there. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to comment, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite thing about this look is. Please share this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. I love you guys. Bye.